Welcome to those who wait. Welcome to the SEC on ESPN from Aggieland. And yeah, it's a little bit soggy after nearly 5 inches of rain moved through in a 3-hour span, pushing back our start time a little bit. And we had a lake in center field. That is gone. Hagen Smith will be on the mound shortly. He's the best pitcher in college baseball. Jace Lavalette leads perhaps the best offensive attack in all of college baseball. Strength versus strength tonight with a division title on the line. Arkansas with a 2-game lead on Texas A&M as we play the first of 3 tonight from Olsen Field at Bluebell Park. Nowhere we would rather be than right here. Tom Hart alongside Kyle Peterson. And nobody you'd rather see on the mound than Hagen Smith for Arkansas, because he's the best pitcher in the country, and A&M over the course of the season has been the best offense.
We've been looking forward to this matchup for a while because you thought it would come down to who wins the West, maybe who wins the league overall. Hagen Smith has been as consistent as anybody in the country, and it's top-end stuff. I mean, when you watch him, you're watching a major leaguer, and it's not going to be very long until he gets there. Over the course of the season for Smith, 95 to 99. That's a pretty good start from the left side. It's as good as sliders you'll see maybe outside of Chase Burns. Leads the country in ERA and strikeouts per 9 innings. The walk numbers have actually been pretty good this year for Smith, but looking for a true ace. He is a true ace. He's going to face one of the best lineups in the country, like Tommy Hart just said. In the middle of this lineup, you get 51 home runs. Braden Montgomery, the Stanford transfer, with 24. Lavalette keeps doing what he's done the first 2 years. He has 27. It's a great matchup. It's power against power, best offense against the best arm in the country, and a great way to start a Thursday night.
And don't forget, Texas A&M has an ace of its own. Ryan Prager, the 6'3 lefty from Dallas, is 5th in the country in strikeout to walk ratio. He's 3rd in the SEC in ERA. He's 8-1 with a 2.71, and well, he's got the task of trying to match up with Hagen Smith, try to slow down this Arkansas team.
Yeah, I think the big thing tonight is don't worry about who's on the other side of the mound. Just worry about this offense. He's been their most consistent the entire year. You see the strikeouts to Walker right there, 95 to 12. Tons of strikes and a good night to pitch, which is kind of rare this time of year when you come down here. Wind, if anything, is actually going to help you on the mound. And it just feels a little bit chilly. You don't get that too often at mid-May down here.
I'll take it. Here's a look at the batting order for Arkansas. Now, they're lacking some pop. Hagen Smith should be good enough to get him through it, but just a 2.71 average as a team. That's 12th in the SEC. First pitch swinging for Peyton Holt. Fouls it off. First pitch temperature here in Bryan College Station, 67 degrees on May 16th.
I don't think we're going to be saying that on Saturday.
No.
Maybe a little bit different.
Holtz is a veteran, 23-year-old who's playing in right field tonight. Dave Van Horn, you saw the batting order has shifted some things around. Kendall Diggs gets another night off. Van Horn telling us earlier today, you know, I'll probably just give him one more game of rest. And we need him to be what we hope we can be. Top 5 showdown here at Bluebell Park tonight. And the count 1-2 now to Peyton Holt. Holt went 5 for 11 in the series against Mississippi State last week with a home run and a double. Senior from Greenwood High School in Arkansas. And he slices one just foul down the line. The rain did not dampen the spirit of the 12th man. They are rocking and ready to go tonight.
They showed up all year. This place has been a great college environment. It always is, but when you're top 5 the entire year, there's a few more of them that show up.
In the dirt from Prager, 2-2 to Peyton Holt. Great crowd considering we are starting a couple hours late. And it wasn't just 4.8 inches of rain over a 3-hour span. Trees were leaning sideways. The sky was lighting up with lightning. It was nasty this afternoon. Ruined my nap. Breaking ball in for strike 3 on Holt.
I think one thing to watch with Prager, we talked about the strikeout to walk ratio, but it really is all 3 at any time, and this time he goes break them all. You can see the dot on that slider coming back in. A good job of Jackson Appel, the veteran catcher, to let it travel. First out of the night for the Aggies, a strikeout.
And that'll bring Peyton Stovall to the plate. Stovall did not have a great series at the plate against Mississippi State. 1 for 13 last week, but the junior from Houghton, Louisiana, connected for a home run on his lone hit. Switch hitter, more power from the left side. And Dave Van Horn was just raving about Stovall when we got that scouting report today. Nothing too quickly.
He's healthy. Finally, last year battled shoulder injuries to start the year. This year broke a foot, but has started 40 games, and those 40 games has felt healthy, and the numbers have followed right with it.
0-2 from Prager. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Back-to-back Ks to start this game for the Aggies.
You know when you show up who's on the other side. And tonight for Prager, who's been so good all year for A&M, he knows that there's a left-hander on the other side that's pretty good. And at the end of the day, may not take many to win this one. Dialed up early, strikeout to start it.
And now the three-hole hitter, Jared Sprague live. .313 average for the senior out of Philadelphia. 7 home runs and 23 driven in. He has found a home at third base for the Razorbacks this season after transferring in from Richmond. 3 years with the Spiders. It's an Arkansas team that's only connected on 70 home runs this season. Sprague's 7 are second most in the team. Pulled the string on him 1-2.
And for comparison, 70 home runs for Arkansas as a club. The first 3 in this A&M lineup have just shy of that at 67.
1-2 to Sprague lot. Another K. Prager yanks the changeup. He strikes out the side in the first. They waited for this. And now, after Prager puts up a 0, they'll see this Aggie offense. Hagen Smith is back in the Lone Star State. He's from Bullard, just about an hour and a half away from here. And he comes into this game as the best pitcher in college baseball. He will likely be the first off the board in the draft. He is undefeated with the 1.65 ERA. That leads the nation. Hits per 9 leads the nation. Strikeouts per 9 leads the nation, and he's got a full arsenal.
Pick a stat. About any stat you want, Hagen Smith's going to be near or at the top in the entire country. 136 strikeouts in just 71 innings. It's over 17 per 9, as good as there is in the country. It's kind of one of those deals against a guy with this type of stuff. You got to guess right. I mean, if you're up there trying to react to what you see and protect everything, the stuff is too good. Either sit fastball or sit slider, but nobody's been able to figure him out consistently this year. That is for sure.
Opponents hitting 139 against them. Here's a look at the batting order for A&M. They are 4th in the nation in home runs. They are 7th in the country in scoring. They are 5th in the country in stolen bases, 2nd in walks, 8th in on base. They carry some mighty big sticks. First pitch in for a strike to freshman Gavin Grahovac. Out of Orange, California, 6'2", 220. His dad was a Phillies draft pick. And now runs a hitting facility back in California. The Grahovacs are not, the men in the family, not a small species. And when he connects, it goes a long way. 10th in the league in home runs in his first year in the SEC. 2-1. If you had A&M's lineup and ability, how would you draw up a scouting report against Hagen Smith?
I think the same. I think you pick one to go after. You're either going to hunt the fastball or you're going to hunt the slider, because you're probably going to get both. That one at 99 right there. And for Smith, you're going to see that. He'll pitch 95 to 99 the entire day.
Opponents are hitting just 163 against his fastball. 100 is the batting average against the slider. Pitching in the rain and leaves 99 up. Didn't go, according to Jeff Wright down the first baseline. Eddie Newsom has the plate tonight. Payoff to Grahovac. Sword in the first K. That one comes at 99.
It'd just be one of those nights. 4 outs, 4 strikeouts so far. Prager strikes out the side in the first. 99 up and out of the zone. Grahovac started the hands, figured out that it was out of the zone, but couldn't hold up. Hagen Smith with his first strikeout of the night.
So here's Jace Laviolette. And he is having an All-American type season, but quickly in the hole, 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Laviolette is 8th in the country in home runs. He's at 27 of them. His OPS nearly 1,300. 3rd in the conference in RBI. And he takes 99 to take it to 1-2.
We talked to Dave Van Horn about this today, but watch Hudson White, the catcher, work defensively, and in particular the way that he frames stuff up behind the plate. He will earn you some strikes.
Slider.
That helps too.
Yep. 2 up, 2 down, both swinging.
So let's start at 99 back to back at the top of the zone, and then, oh yeah, I've got one of these. And there's not pretty much anybody else in the country that has one of those. A slider that good. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the night for Hagen Smith.
And now the 3-hole hitter, Braden Montgomery, a Mississippi native who started his college career at Stanford, 2 seasons with the Cardinal. The rain is steady. There's nothing light about it right now. OPS at 1254. He's among the nation's top 10 in home runs, but he's been in a bit of a slump. 2 for 11 in the last series against Ole Miss. 0 for 13 in the series against LSU with 6 Ks. It can't be fun to be in a slump as a hitter, and then you're batting in the rain against the guy who throws 99 and has a wipeout slide.
A good night to break out. This and the wind's blowing in. That's 100. That's a lot.
It's a lot. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Both pitchers K the side to get us started. It was worth the wait. We'll see if anybody can make contact when we return. Score through 1 inning of play. Both starting pitchers K'd the side in the first. A&M 5th in the country. Arkansas 3rd. Head coach Jim Schlossnagle told us in the offseason this is the most talented team I've ever had. He's been to Omaha 5 times. Would love to make it back there. And you look at this team for Texas A&M, just like on the other side for Dave Van Horn, they both have the talent to win it all. Vahiva Aloy is the Arkansas shortstop, and he leads up by taking a breaking ball up. 1-0. Aloy from Maluku, Hawaii, transferred in, was one of the most sought after portal projects in the offseason. Breaking ball in for a strike this time. Aloy transferred in from Sacramento State. He had a great series last week against Mississippi State. First ball put in play is a 54-foot dribbler. 1 down.
He's been pretty solid defensively too, and that's top to bottom for this Arkansas team. Field 90-82 as a club. Peyton Stovall making his 41st start tonight at second base, has not made an error all year.
The 982 is 6th best in the country. Here's Ben McLaughlin. Senior first baseman from Golden, Colorado, by the way of Hutchinson Junior College. Gold Glove Award winner a couple of seasons ago at Hutch. He hit .411 along with that Gold Glove. Swing and a miss. This is an Arkansas team that is a win away from its 5th 20-win SEC season. Yet kind of like A&M, their bubble hasn't exactly been busted, but deflated a little bit. They had won 7 out of 8 Now they've lost 3 out of 5. And McLaughlin is the 4th strikeout victim of the night for Prager.
And for Arkansas, that's 4 of the last 5 years. If they get to 20, they've won 20 games in this league. There ain't anybody else that can say that. Dave Van Horn, the consistency is pretty amazing. You can see what they've done in the past. 19, 21, 23, won at least 20 games. A regular in Omaha and a regular win in 20 in the toughest league in the country.
And they are off to their 2nd best conference start in program history. And 19-8, trying to wrap up the West with a win this weekend. Here's Ryder Helfrich, California native. Clayton Valley Charter High School. Couple of starts last week against State, and a capper up the line. Prager slips as he came to it, and our first hit of the game is a 30-footer.
No, that rain that just came, I mean, you're going to spin your wheels on this one, and you got to go full speed to try to get it. Even if Prager fields this, I don't think he's got any chance, but you can see this is an infield that was tarped when it was pouring, but rain started briefly about 15 minutes ago, enough to make it slippery enough. Ryder Helfrich's on there with the first hit of the night.
Good Sport would replace his divot. Here's Hudson White. Arkansas recruited Hudson White hard out of Byron Nelson High School. He's from Keller, Texas. But he turned him down to go to Lubbock and spent a season with Texas Tech. Two seasons, I should say, with the Red Raiders. Honorable mention all conference last year. Was a freshman All-America, the Big 12 Freshman of the year prior. Grew up on a ranch near Roanoke, Texas. Here's the 0-2. Into shallow center field. That'll drop for a hit. The Razorbacks have put 2 together with 2 out here in the 2nd.
We got a ball in the outfield. First one of the night. Had a ground ball to the pitcher, then a swing and bunt this time. Hudson White kind of saws it off, cuts that swing off, but gets it elevated enough that he can get to it. 2 quick outs to start, infield single, and now White's clean single right there, and Arkansas's got their first runner in scoring position.
And here's where things have really slowed for Arkansas over the course of the season. The bottom of the order, they just don't have the length and depth that, for example, A&M does. And the first pitch is upstairs to Jason Jones. Jones making his 18th start of this season. Sophomore from Savannah, Texas, out of Braswell High School. Was a top prospect coming out of high school, but he was a high school shortstop. Came to Arkansas, was playing some third. They've moved him to the outfield now, and that's to essentially fill in for Diggs, who we'd expect to see in the starting lineup tomorrow. Jones started 2 games against Mississippi State, hit 1 of his 4 home runs on the season against the Bulldogs. Outside, 2-1. And the 12th man did not approve of that call. Two-one pitch. Breaks in for a strike, 2-2. Prager throws his slider more than any other pitch. Opponent's hitting just .215 against it. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. That's his 3rd best pitch, and he has struck out 5 through 2.
Decent start for the lefty. Struck out the side in the first, a couple of 2-out singles in the second, and then one of his best changeups of the night to get out of it. 5 strikeouts in 2, scoreless in College Station.
Hogs got a swinging bunt and a bloop single, but couldn't do anything with them, both with 2 outs in the second. And we're scoreless as we move to the home half for 5th-ranked Texas A&M against Dave Van Horn and this Arkansas Razorbacks team. 22nd season as the head Hog, 3-time Conference Coach of the Year, 3 regular season SEC championships for Van Horn, and 4 in school history. Jackson Appel is the hitter for A&M. Hagen Smith threw 15 pitches in the first inning. He struck out the side. 2-0. Appel's from Houston Memorial. He spent 4 seasons playing in the Ivy League for Penn. Got a Penn undergrad. Going to get his MBA from A&M. And he's ahead in the count 3-0. I didn't figure that was going to work against Hagen Smith.
No. No.
It's worked against lesser pitchers.
It has worked against many lesser pitchers, but this is not one of them.
Appel sends this one high onto the berm on the right side, and the wind's going to leave it there. Appel comes from an athletic family. His mom Sharon played college basketball at SMU, and his grandpa Jerry was a Razorback, played basketball at Arkansas. Payoff from Smith. Poke to the right side. Travis Chestnut comes around. 1 down.
See what this Aggie approach is against Hagen Smith. The walk numbers aren't crazy, but he has walked some, 29 and 71 innings, so right close to 4 per 9. Even if you make it out, if you push that pitch count up, that's a big deal tonight, because as soon as you can get him out of there, and this is a loaded Arkansas bullpen, but none of them look like this guy.
And a first pitch strike to Ted Burton. Pardon me, that was Stovall who handled that last out. Out of play. That was total user error, but I'd also like to point out that my book is covered in raindrops.
That's your excuse.
I've got a lot of them.
So, partner, he's played second base every game this year.
Yep.
That darn book. Got him again.
Jim Schlossnagel, let's change the subject.
All right.
Sorry I brought it up. Did a fantastic job in the transfer portal in the offseason. He brought Burton in from Michigan. He was third team All Big Ten with the Wolverines last year. Had to battle his way through a leg injury that took him out of the lineup against LSU. That was a series loss for A&M. That was a motivated LSU team 2 weekends ago and an Aggie team that did not play clean defense. They had a hard time getting on track last time out. And strikeout number 4 for Hagen Smith, 5 batters faced.
Yeah, it hasn't been a great 2 weeks for this Aggie team that have been so consistent. I mean, it's still all the pieces you would want to see, but ultimately not quite what you thought they were going to be 3 or 4 weeks ago, but strongly in the right spot to be a top 8 national seed. Probably only, I don't know if you have to win any this weekend to maintain to be in that spot. Win 1, you're definitely there. Win 2, and it's an absolute lock.
Here's Hayden Schott. Senior transfer's got a 25 game on base streak coming. Grad transfer from Newport Beach, California. Started at Cypress College and 2 seasons played in the Ivy League for Columbia. By the way, Columbia playing in the Ivy tournament, the #1 seed. Princeton, Cornell, and Penn. And we'll have an automatic berth punch this weekend in the Ivy. 2-2. Low and away, full count.
Pretty good take there. Left on left, you got to dial up for 99, and that slider looked like it had a chance when it came out of his hand. Worked it to 3-2.
Fouls off 96. Respectfully, we'll talk with Jim Schlossnagel next half inning. Do you think Hayden Schott So anything like Hagen Smith in the Ivy League?
I don't think they don't have these guys there.
Punches him out on 86. He has struck out 5 of the 6 batters he faced. Jim Schlossnagle knows great pitching. We'll ask him what he thinks of Hagen Smith. Maybe some other questions. That's after this. An old-fashioned pitcher's duel tonight. We move to the top of the third. Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson. Happy to be joined by Jim Schlossnagle. You're facing him tonight. He's really good. What do you make of Hagen Smith? What you've seen so far? And how do you get you guys ready in terms of an approach for a guy like this?
I was just saying in the dugout, I don't remember, 35 years I've faced plenty of really good lefties, but I don't remember a starter with this kind of arm and stuff. I mean, just that last pitch to shot, holy cow, it shouldn't even be legal. But I think, it's just a matter, especially the right-handed hitters, you got to be able to lay off the pitch. Grahovic swung at the ball 4. Appel swung at the ball 4. I mean, easier said than done, but you just got to try to get him on the plate.
You got a pretty good left-hander tonight too, and I know Prager's been so good for you all year. In a game like this, where you know on the other side who the other guy is, do you see anything different out of him going in?
No. I mean, I think this is awesome. No, I don't see anything different. He's throwing strikes. He's got 3 pitches going. He's just going to probably have more context. We got to play defense behind him, whereas Smith's going to have more strikeouts.
We appreciate you working some sarcasm into the interview right off the bat.
Only for you boys.
This is great. Thank you.
Odds. We'll let you get back to work. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. See you.
We laughed about it at dinner last night. There was a run last year with Jim Schlossnagle where every time he put on the headset, something went wrong for his team. And it became like this dark comedy, fouled off of the foot.
My favorite is when he just punted in the middle of it. Just headset off. Nothing to, I'm out. Done, thank you.
Bye.
We'll try again maybe some other time.
Well, you're right. He's got a great one on the mound in Prager. And he's starting turn 2 through this Arkansas order. Throw over to first to keep the speedy Wilmsmeyer near the bag. Ty Wilmsmeyer can float now. He hasn't had many chances to run this year, but he's at first base with Peyton Holt at the plate. How did you keep as a pitcher you go from the windup to the stretch? You're trying to be just as effective as you were. I mean, obviously it's muscle memory and routine. Here's the 1-1 to Holt. But if you missed a couple of times out of the stretch when you weren't missing at all in the windup, is there a mental reset?
Yeah, there has to be. I think the harder thing out of the stretch is you don't really get in a rhythm. I mean, when you're in the windup, you can get in a rhythm because you can work at whatever pace you want to. When you're in a stretch, I mean, your rhythm is kind of dictated by who's standing on first base. And when you got a guy like Wilmsmeyer that can really run, you got to vary your times up, your looks up, and then worry about the hitter after that.
Arkansas as a team, 40 of 49 on the base paths, and now a 3-1 count to Peyton Holt.
There's a great interview, and this is a while ago, with Greg Maddox. And they asked him about preparation going into the game. And he said the vast majority of the pitches that he threw before the game in the bullpen were out of the stretch.
Swing and miss, full count.
Reason being, the biggest pitches you're probably going to make in a game are out of the stretch. Most nights you're going to throw more pitches out of the stretch and out of the windup. I never heard it said that way as far as preparation. It makes a lot of sense because it is a different cadence when you're out there.
Prager has fought back to get back in this at bat, and the breaking ball swung on a miss. Holt came out of his helmet, and his strikeout number 6 for Ryan Prager.
They're not seeing the slider tonight from Prager because this is hittable. I mean, it's elevated, probably near the top of the zone, and Holt recognized it, still swung right through. Was actually a little bit late on it. Was trying to take that one the other way. But 7 outs so far in the game, 6 via the strikeout for Ryan Prager, who came into this one 95 strikeouts and 69 2/3.
Among 6 of them And he's only faced 10 batters. In for a strike to Peyton Stovall. Pulled foul, 0-2. He throws his slider for a strike 73% of the time. The Division I average is less than 60%. And the big league average is 61%. So go back to the slider here, 0-2.
It's what he's most comfortable with. I mean, if so, I think it's down and away and something he could maybe get chased with for Stovall, or if you want to change eyesight, elevate the fastball up and out of the zone. If you get chased, great. If not, you're still in a plus count.
Reached for that one and pulled a foul again. Razorbacks are coming off of a series win against Mississippi State. The weekend before that, lost 2 of 3 to Kentucky. It won't be a factor tonight, but their starting pitching has struggled to the point that Dave Van Horn has completely reworked the rotation behind Hagen Smith. Now, the good news is his bullpen was magnificent last week. Then bailed him out a couple of times. Here's the 1-2. Popped up the breaking ball. Ali Camarillo is at short, and there are 2 down. A&M 4th in the SEC in fielding percentage at .979. That's how they line them up tonight. The defense was a little bit shaky in first 2 games of the LSU series, committed 5 errors. Here's Jared Sprague-Lott, swinging a miss on the slider. After that series, Jim Schlossnagle was on Texas Aggies, and he said, listen, we're a good team, but we're not good enough that we can give away outs. And if we do, then we better slug the ball.
And this year, they've been pretty good about not giving them up, but these last 2 weekends where they haven't played great, that's been a big part of it.
0-2 to Sprague-Lott. Prager has struck out 6 to this point. Just off the plate.
Well, the guy halfway down the left field line, sitting 18 rows deep, apparently had a really good look at this, but that was actually off the plate. It missed. Close, but it missed.
Comes back with a slider that's fouled off following the changeup. We'll talk with the head hog, Dave Van Horn, in the next half inning. One-two to Sprague-Lott. Fastball away. Sprague-Lott sitting on 7 home runs. He homered on opening day in his first game in a Razorback uniform. Low for ball 3.
Good take there. Change up down and away that he's trying to get Sprague-Lott to go after. Now Wilmsmeyer will be moving on this one, and he's probably the fastest Razorback. Ball in the gap right here. He's got a chance to score.
A little bit delayed, didn't matter. Swing and a miss on the changeup. He has struck out 7 through 3. Bottom of the order coming up. But we got an old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Ryan Prager versus Hagen Smith. No score. No score between Arkansas and A&M. We're pleased to be joined by Arkansas head coach Dave Van Horn. DVH, I've run out of stats and descriptors for Hagen Smith. How do you summarize what this guy is this year?
Well, he's been amazing in one word. He's been very consistent. He's the same every week in his routine to get ready. Just very level-headed, very mature, and he's the best. He's the best I've ever had, probably.
Hey, Dave, feel free to go back in the dugout. We don't want you to be in the line of fire.
That's what I asked the guy. I said, hey, why do you want me out here, man?
We want everybody to see you.
He goes,
that's why.
We'll be done before he starts pitching. Yeah, right.
We want them all to see you.
Hey,
so they can all say hi.
You're just happy the rain stopped in the top of the first inning after Hagen Smith had gotten hot, huh?
No doubt. Yeah, it's they did a great job getting this field ready because there was a pond in center field, and it was pretty amazing.
Do you ever get a chance in the middle of a game when you got a guy like Smith to just kind of sit back and appreciate what you're seeing and be a fan at all? I mean, you don't see this very often.
No, I've said that a couple times this year that, we get to watch him as well. We know what he's probably going to do, but, it's still amazing to see someone his age with his stuff just go out and do it week in and week out.
Dave, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Dave Van Horn with Hagen Smith, the opening day starter for the second straight season. First to do that since Blaine Knight, 2018 season. He's sitting on 5 strikeouts already. He's only 5 from the school record that was set by Nick Schmidt. And now facing Camarillo. And the shortstop looks at that one, missed 3-1. You've been around the game as long as Dave Van Horn or Jim Schlossnagle, and you say something along the lines of, I've never seen a lefty like this, or I've never seen a guy like this. That is high praise. Right side, McLaughlin camped underneath it. 1 down.
I'm trying to think back of most dominant left-handers that I've seen at the college level. Andrew Miller comes to mind when he was at North Carolina. I mean, it was slinging 98, 99, pitching the big leagues for a long time. But I don't remember ever seeing somebody have a better season than this from the left side. The strikeout numbers continue to go up. He's got 5 more again tonight. And you'll see that velocity will carry. He'll keep it the entire game.
Caden Sorrell at the plate for Texas A&M. Freshman from down in Highland Village, Texas. Well, it's almost blasphemous to compare anybody to the season that Paul Skeens had last year. But Hagen Smith from the left side is putting up some very similar numbers that Skeens put up last year. Skeens won the national title with a 13-2 record, a 1.69 ERA. Hagen Smith 2 strikeouts more per 9 innings pitched. That one was in the dirt. They'll throw it on to first to finish off strikeout number 6. And of note, the last college pitcher to lead the country in ERA and strikeouts per 9 was a guy by the name of Steven Strasburg, who, for many who saw him, was the most dominant pitcher they had ever seen until, or arguably, against Skeens.
Yeah, you're talking about some of the better college pitchers in the last 20 years. When you go Skeens, Strasburg, and I think you throw Smith right in that discussion right now.
Travis Chestnut, the 9-hole hitter, ahead in the count 1-0. Hagen Smith, as I mentioned earlier, is from Bullard, Texas. When he was at Bullard High School, he set the Texas prep record with 7 no-hitters. His senior year, he was 11-0 with a .19 ERA and 168 strikeouts in 73 innings.
Not too far away from that at this level. That's what's crazy.
All of it is outrageous. Push bunt up the first base line. Smith missed it. And Travis Chestnut is the first Aggie to reach Heads up play by the 9-hole hitter.
Any way you can at this point, you might as well try this. They're going to give that a hit for Hagen Smith. And this one you kind of got to get around. That's a tough play to try to glove it that way, and you got to pick it perfect, and then it's a tough throw. If you can get around it, turn your back to the first base line for a lefty, it makes that play a lot easier. That time doesn't glove it cleanly, and the Aggies are on there with the first hit of the night. It's an infield single.
Here's Gavin Graholvac. I wonder if Smith was thinking about just doing a glove flip as he approached it. That's kind of looked like the only thing he'd set himself up for.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It wasn't the route you'd teach. I'll tell you that. We finally found something that he doesn't do perfect tonight.
Graholvac struck out on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Foul back, 0-2 at 94. Leads the nation in both of those, as I mentioned. That's since Steven Strasburg was playing for Tony Gwynn at San Diego State. Have we seen the same pitcher lead the country in both? And it's only happened a handful of times in college baseball history. Al Holland and Dave Welty are the only other two. Led the nation in ERA and Ks per 9.
Al Holland dropped a .26 on him 1 year.
Not bad.
I didn't have that one.
Pretty good.
His strikeouts per 9 are better than all of them.
Got him picked off, and he threw it wide. Luckily hit the first base umpire. If Jeff Wright is not in the way, it's 180 extra feet. Instead, Chestnut only makes it to second.
And Chestnut didn't see it. I mean, this is one where you just put your head down going, you know that you're going to have to slide to have a chance. If he saw it, he's at third base anyway, but doesn't turn around. Then he looks up, peeks, catches Nolan Cain a little bit late, and he'll stay at second base. But with an infield single and what looked to be a pickoff, the Aggies have one in scoring position, but a 1-2 count here on Graholvac.
Graholvac sends a one-hopper to short, fielded cleanly by Aloy, and that will end any sort of Aggie threat. 6 Ks through 3, only one hit allowed, and it was a bunt. We're still scoreless. This week's Sunday Night Baseball National League matchup is the third of 4 between Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres, and a hard-hitting Marcell Ozuna and the Braves. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, with baseball tonight's Sunday night countdown. How about former Aggie A.J. Minter pitching out of the Braves bullpen? Already has 5 wins this series, 5-3, the 3.57.
Got 8 appearances or 8 decisions already out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Maybe the only 20-game winner this year.
Ryan Prager delivers the strength of Ahiva Aloy. We are scoreless. Both starting pitchers have been magnificent. In for a strike, 0-2. Goff to center. Laviolette coming on and makes a running catch. You could almost hear his spike squishing from up here running through that soggy center field.
I feel like that's what you forget about Laviolette. He's got 27 home runs. He's one of the best power hitters in the country. He's also a center fielder. I mean, he's playing a premier defensive position and has the entire year and does more than hold his own out there. I'm not sure if he's a center fielder in pro ball, but it's working pretty good in college.
Breaking ball tip foul by Ben McLaughlin. Yeah, Schlossnagle used Laviolette's speed a lot more last year, but now he's got a big bat hitting behind him, and he said, I'd be an idiot to run into outs in the base paths with Braden Montgomery at the plate. To Burton, 2 down. And that'll bring Ryder Helfrich to the plate. Helfrich came in with a big reputation. He's 6'1", 205. They weren't sure he would make it through the draft. He had a big summer going into his senior year. And you can see he is well built.
Yeah, he's put together. This could be your catcher of the future for Arkansas. This year, Hudson White has been so good defensively back there, he's held it down. I also think the offense is going to take a jump. I mean, you watch Helfrich take BP and the way that he moves, it should work in the time that he's there. A slow offensive start, but I've seen a lot of pretty good players have slow offensive freshman years. One of them could be the #1 pick in the draft this year.
Here's the 2-1. Prager's allowed 3 hits in this game. Swing and a miss on the slider, full count. A swinging bunt to Helfrich with 2 outs in the second before a Hudson White bloop single. And then a Ty Wilmsmeyer line drive. Here's the payoff pitch. An excuse me punch to the second baseman Chestnut. And that's how you know things are going well. Prager back into his rhythm. A&M will send the heart of the order up. No score. Aggies with just 1 hit. Here is a power matchup. Hagen Smith against Jace Laviolette. Most of the home run hitters reside in the SEC. Charlie Condon leading the nation with 34. Jack Caglione now 6 behind him, and Laviolette 4th in the country with 27, tied with Austin Peay's Lyle Miller Green. One and 0 the count. And swung through that one.
Hagen Smith 3+ innings right now. That's 8 swings and misses, 6 foul balls. He's thrown 30 strikes and struck out 6. So that strikeouts per 9 innings came in at 17.2, and it's gone north so far tonight.
That is insane. And by the same math projecting his hits per 9, he leads the nation at 4. Will also go down. 4 hits per 9. I mean, he doesn't allow hits. He doesn't walk anybody. He strikes everybody out. I can't figure out how he doesn't lead the country in whip. Blowing away 3-2.
So I had Wake last weekend, and Chase Burns struck out 16 the first time. I think Burns and Smith are going to be the first 2 college arms off the board this year.
Goes down swinging a 95.
And depending on who drafts them, if it's a team that gets into the postseason or has a chance, it wouldn't shock me if either or both are in the big leagues by the end of the year.
Yeah.
You could put them in a big league ball. You could start them right now, and nobody would blink at the big league level. They may not want to do that in a professional organization, start them at the end of the year, just given the innings that they'll throw in college. But if you got a chance, both of those guys can help your bullpen this year.
Oddly enough, you know who one of those teams may be?
The Royals.
Kansas City's got the 6th overall pick, and they are off to a red-hot start. How about the Red Sox with the 12th overall pick? Their pitching has been sensational this year. 1-1 strike to Braden Montgomery. But those guys won't fall very far. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Montgomery struck out swinging his first time up. Take a look at the draft prospects. Travis Mazzana, Oregon State, according to Kylie McDaniel, projected to go 1. Charlie Condon and Jack Caglione, the top 3. And this is 5 versus 6.
Not a bad year to pick 5, 6, or 7 this year. Get either one of those guys in that slot, you're winning. And Hagen Smith continues to win tonight. That's now 8 strikeouts. Struck out the first 2 in this inning, and it happened to be 2 of the best hitters in the entire country. Laviolette and Braden Montgomery have combined to hit 51 home runs this year, but the stuff of Smith tonight is as advertised. The only hit given up was an infield single.
This is the type of outing, as Jackson Appel stands in, that you can expect a scout, a general manager, to talk about on draft night or the next day, and he can say, you know what, I watched Hagen Smith against the best offense in the country, and X happened. We can't project what's going to happen over the rest of this game, but the way he has started it.
So there's a little cordoned off area right by home plate where all the scouts are standing. We went down to get something to drink. I mean, it looks like the VIP room at a club in Miami right now. They are jammed in there.
Fly ball to center field. Wilmsmeyer drifts back and hauls it in. 1-2-3 frame work by Hagen Smith. Zeros for both sides.
All right, the list that maybe you don't want to be on, even though it means you've been pretty good for a long time. Florida State 23 times to Omaha, never won it. Clemson 12. Clemson hasn't been there in over a decade. Both could be top 8 national seeds. Same thing with these two. Both could be top 8 national seeds. Arkansas almost won it against Oregon State. North Carolina was a mainstay about 10 years ago. All 4 of those teams, if you stop the season today, are top 8 national seeds. None of them have won a national title.
Here's Hudson White, bottom 3rd of the order for Arkansas here. White has a bloop single to his name. I got lost in the 6-4-3 data, going through Synergy and looking at Hudson White's pitch framing ability, and we're talking with Dave Van Horn about it. And I asked him, is that something that can be taught? White got underneath this one, down the line, and onto the berm. Or is it innate? Is this a skill that you just show up with? And he goes, no. Not only can it be taught, but Hudson White has learned, because when he came in from Texas Tech, we have 4 catchers on the roster, and he was the 4th among pitch framing, and now he is one of the best in the country, working long and hard with Bobby Werniss.
He's a strike creator behind home plate, and the numbers, when you look at it over the course of the year, will show that out. He doesn't lose them when they're over the plate, and he will gain you some on those that are just off the plate.
Upstairs, 1-2. All of the data, I shouldn't say all of it, that's a bit of a stretch, but a lot of the same data that you can find now on your favorite big league team, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 is now available on these college teams because of the TrackMan and the technology that's in these ballparks and measures everything. And if you're a baseball nerd like we are, man, you can get lost
Yeah, it's like living on Baseball Savant, except it's in college. I'd tell you who else can see that is major league organizations. And it gives them a different way to grade collegiate players, whereas before it was more just by your eye.
Pulled foul by Jason Jones, 0-1. Great article in The Athletic this week that talked about pitching injuries and the reliance on all of the data. Hot shot under the glove of Grahovac over at third, and Jason Jones reaches with one out in the fifth. And you throw it harder and you spin it faster, and you're being graded on those metrics. As a player, you're only pushed to do more and more of that because that's what gets rewarded, and the direct impact that has on spate of arm injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember who I was talking with a few weeks ago, but I remember, I mean, in a game, you would only think, at least I, and I think most, would only think max effort maybe 5 or 6 times during the course of the entire game. Whereas now, especially if it's a four-seam guy that's trying to elevate, I mean, watch Hagen Smith. There's a lot of max effort there. And so the output on the arm and the stress on the arm is definitely different than I think it was in years past. And clearly, guys are throwing harder.
1-0 pitch. Tip foul. Great article by Jason Stark and Ken Rosenthal that came out just a couple of days ago. Talk about where we are now when it comes to pitching and injuries. Jones being held on over at first by Burton. The breaking ball's popped up foul, and nobody can get to it. Well, now the latest metric that is available Major League Baseball is swing speed. And it's easy. I get it. Like we feast on all these numbers and we nerd out on them, and it's easy to see, just like in golf, how a better swing speed is going to lead to more distance. And the harder you hit the ball, there goes the runner. Chopped up the middle. No chance for 2, and a step on the bag anyway.
Who was number 1 in the big leagues? Stanton?
No, I got to look it up. He was up there. There's Peyton Holt, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Inside to Holt. He has struck out looking, and he has struck out swinging. Yes, Stanton's number 1. His average bat speed's 80.6. Other guys in the top include O'Neill Cruz, Kyle Schwarber, Matt Chapman, Ronald Acuna. Those you would expect. 1-0. Breaking ball fouled off. Critics of it say, well, of course, the harder you swing, the farther the ball's going to go. It's also going to be harder to make contact the harder you swing. One on and 2 out. Razorbacks have stranded 3 so far tonight. And the slider just missed. Jackson Appel tried to bring it back. They are living and dying on every pitch, and I love it.
This is after 4.5 inches of rain in 2.5, 3 hours. This place will be jammed tomorrow night.
Pulled to third behind the bag, Grahovac. And the Razorbacks miss another opportunity. Had a runner in scoring position for the second time tonight. 4 left on through 5. Burton shot. Camarillo coming up. NBA playoffs continue tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semis between Jalen Brunson and the Knicks and Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. Winner go home for Indiana. Gainbridge Fieldhouse with the Knicks up 3-2. Countdown crew will tip off our coverage at 8 Eastern. First pitch of Ted Burton is up and away, 1-0. Out straight back off the bricks. We were talking about max effort as pitchers. The great article about Walker Buehler last week. He's now back in the big leagues with the Angels after being a top pick out of Vanderbilt. He's been DFA'd like 7 times. He was originally picked by the White Sox. He said, I got up there, and when I joined the organization, they immediately changed my mechanics because he was max effort all the time. And if you saw Walker Buehler pitch when he was in college, there was some cringe, like, oh man, that dude's going to blow out. He said,
sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead.
He was slight then, too. I mean, the stuff it didn't necessarily match the body. It was kind of like watching Lincecum a couple years ago, to where you didn't expect, when you saw him run out there, you didn't think his stuff was necessarily going to be there.
Hagen Smith sitting on 8 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2 to Burton. Swung at that one in the dirt. Hudson White will have to throw down to finish off strikeout number 9. Buehler's point in this article was changing my effort not only decreased my velocity on my fastball, but I felt like it took away what was my most effective pitch, which was my changeup, because of the deception with that arm action. And finally, he decided to stick with baseball after thinking about giving it up, and he said, well, I'm just going to go back to the way I was. And he's ridden that to a pretty good start this season. First pitch strike to Hayden Schott. This guy's full of personality, isn't he?
He's a blast. Yeah, the Ivy League transfer, 1-2 on this A&M team. Fungo golf extraordinaire, which I always appreciate.
Takes that one and gets all the way to the on-deck circle, and he's going to reach on a strikeout. That is a program-tying strikeout. 10th of the game for Hagen Smith, but it results in a base runner.
This is something Hudson White's been pretty good at this year, too. There's not a whole lot to go to the backstop. I don't know if you're going to call this a pass ball or a wild pitch. He only has 3 pass balls the entire season, and Hagen Smith, for all of the stuff, and this is what I think is kind of crazy, it's just 1 wild pitch on the season coming in. That means you got a pretty good guy behind home plate, because this is not easy stuff to catch.
Here's Ali Camarillo. By the way, I stepped in it a moment ago.
You were going Fulmer, weren't you?
Yeah, Carson Fulmer, not Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
Same era, same college uniform.
Yep.
I apologize. One ball, 1 strike.
But I believe if Buehler's not back yet, he's going to be back pretty quick, working back from Tommy John. The Carson Fulmer stuff is awesome. I actually talked to him a couple years ago when he was trying to figure out whether he wanted to keep playing or not. And he was the guy. I mean, him and Buehler were on the same staff at Vanderbilt, but Fulmer was the one that had the better collegiate career. Big league side has just been a little bit different. Awesome kid that's got great stuff, and you hope this is the time he hangs around for a while.
He was the 8th overall pick by the Sox in 2015. Pop foul, still 1-2. Ali Camarillo. Camarillo sitting at 6 home runs. 2 of them came in 1 game against Gates Jump of LSU. And they were on 2 of Jump's better fastballs, which the surprise there is that Camarillo, talking with Jim Schlossnagle, has really come around to hitting velocity. Something he didn't see a lot of in his previous stop. That is strikeout number 11 and a new program record for Hagen Smith. Think about all the great pitchers who have come through Arkansas.
Yeah. A lot of guys pitched a long time in the big leagues. Backdoor slider, man, this is what you got to get ready for. It's crazy. He's essentially a 2-pitch guy, but both are above major league average. The slider significantly above, and that time Camarillo can't pull the string. That's now 3 strikeouts in the inning, 11 in a game.
Misses with 95, up and away. Kane Sorrell. Sorrell struck out last time up. One on one. Now 1 and 2.
If you punch out 4 in an inning, that helps that whole strikeouts per 9 number. He's a pitch away from doing that.
And a line drive into right field, right at Peyton Holt. 11 strikeouts for Hagen Smith. He has set a new Arkansas program record with his 346th of his career. Still scoreless in Aggieland. Score between Arkansas and Texas A&M, battling for the SEC West Division title. Final year divisions in the SEC with Oklahoma and Texas coming in next year. It'll be just one big league. Here's a look at the D1 baseball projected SEC teams in the NCAA tournament. Kentucky has only won the SEC once. Wildcats battling to get that done again. And the first pitch swinging, Peyton Stovall's got a leadoff single in the 6th. Odds are, if you're going to make a run in the postseason, you're going to have to go through an SEC stadium to do so.
There has never been 5 top 8 national seeds from the same league. And the SEC's got a legitimate chance to do it this year. Aside from these 2, the other 3 all won today. Georgia beat Florida, Tennessee won their opener, Kentucky won their opener.
One on for Jared Sprague-Lott. One and 0. Oh for 2 tonight. Sprague-Lott, a very patient hitter. Usually works counts. It's a hack at that one, 1-1. What about the season Kentucky has had?
Just keeps getting better. Super regional team last year had to go down to Baton Rouge. This year, I think that now they are an absolute lock to be a top 8 national seed. They could be the #1 overall seed. Season stopped today, they would be.
They have set and reset single game attendance records at Kentucky Proud Park this year. And the idea that they would give that fan base 2 weekends of postseason baseball, that place will be absolutely electric. Swing and a miss, 2 and 2. There's something special about teams that are on the come up and the way those fan bases react when they haven't tasted it either for a long time or ever. Kentucky only has 2 super regional appearances in their history, one at Louisville and last year at LSU.
Only team in the SEC to never make it to Omaha.
2-2 pitch in the dirt.
You get a brand new ballpark, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? So now you get a $60 million ballpark with a club that is one of the best in the entire country back-to-back years. They were the same way last year. They've now created a true following in Lexington.
Here's the payoff pitch. And there's ball 4 and 2 on with nobody out for Arkansas, threatening here in the 6th. And it brings up Ahiva Aloy, who's the team leader in home runs, RBI, and stolen bases. 11 home runs. His first as a Razorback was a grand slam. Off-speed pitch misses up, 1-0. One and one. Runner at second is Peyton Stovall. Jared Sprague-Lott is at first. Little dribbler off the side of the mound. Chestnut gets a tag and a flip, and he turned two. Bobby Werner says, "You're not out. Get to the bag." He was never ruled out, and they're going to get Sprague-Lott finally. He stopped two-thirds of the way to the base and gave up on the play. Could have been standing on second, had two in scoring position with one out.
Yeah, I would have changed the inning. He got second and third, one out instead. And I mean, from here, it looked like Sprague-Lott was definitely tagged out right here. You can see, I think he did clip him on the way by, but the only thing that matters is he wasn't called out by the second base umpire. Hank Himmelman out at second base, didn't immediately signal for it. Bobby Werner, the first base coach, saw it, but by that time too late, so it goes as a double play. Would look to be a promising spot for Arkansas now. Runner on third with two outs and a left-on-left matchup.
Man, you're absolutely right. They didn't get the tag on Sprague-Lott. He's sitting there thinking, why is everybody yelling at me? I was out. Stovall standing at third. And a visit to the mound. And Prager back in order. And here's Ben McLaughlin. Slider in for a strike, 0-1. Goes right back to it, 0-2. Popped him up, and this one will reach the seats. Stovall singled to start the inning. Advanced on a walk and then the ground out. 0-2. Back to the mound. Prager only needs to go to first, and that will get him out of any trouble, real or perceived. The first two reach. Nobody made it to home. Arkansas nothing, A&M nothing. Well, if you joined us late, here's what you missed. Hagen Smith doing Hagen Smith things.
Started in the rain. That makes it even tougher, and it wasn't very easy to start. 11 strikeouts so far for Hagen Smith. 14 swing and misses at this point in the game, and he is still going strong. Just 80 pitches. Fastball was up to 100 in the first, and the slider's been unhittable.
Start with a 9-hole hitter, Travis Chestnut, here in the the sixth. Chestnut on a 2-1 pitch, tried to bunt his way on in the third and reached when Hagen Smith wasn't able to field the ball. Off speed away, 1-1.
That's the one time in the game you want him to call it an error.
That's right.
On yourself. No, change that one.
As crazy as it sounds, and as good as his numbers have been all season and collectively, this is a bounce-back performance for Smith, who allowed a season high, tied his season high with 3 earned against Mississippi State last weekend. And he just tied up Travis Chestnut. Throw down with a little dance from McLaughlin. Ends up in the 12th strikeout of the game.
You know your stuff's pretty good when the guy swings at it and has to scissor kick his right foot out of the way just so he doesn't get hit. That's a slider you're not used to seeing.
I don't know if there's a Bryan College Station Ballet Company, but if there is, Chestnut could be auditioning. Top of the order now, Gavin Grahovac. Among school records Hagen Smith has set, it includes double-digit strikeout games, and this is his 5th consecutive. And his 9th in his last 10 starts. He's really only had 2 subpar outings this season. His last start, and this is all relative, of course, his last start against Mississippi State, he struck out 11, but he walked 4. And he allowed 3 earned in 5 innings. By the way, Arkansas won that game. They won every game he started this season. And his very first start of the year against James Madison, 2 days after Valentine's Day, with the wind blowing out, gave up a wind-blown pop-up home run, only lasted 1 inning, only struck out 2, and got touched for 3 earned runs. His ERA after 1 game was 27. So what did he do next game out?
Punched out 17.
He set a school record with 17 strikeouts against one of the best teams in the country, against Oregon State.
Now it's proven to be a big-time offense, too. Oregon State, a team, has got a chance to play at home. They're beating Arizona tonight in a winner-take-all final Pac-12 series to see who wins that league.
Arizona's a game and a half up on Oregon State because there's an odd rainout mixed in there. You rain out Southern California of all places. 0-1 to Jace Laviolette. Laviolette has struck out twice. Hagen Smith wanted that one at 95. Misses low at 96, 2-1. Smith has reached the century mark or gone over it in pitches 3 times this season. Three balls and a strike.
I think this may be it, too. We're getting close to 100 pitches. They don't go much over it if they do. I don't know if you run him back out there, or even if he does get Laviolette out here.
High fly ball yanked to right field and past the reach of Holt. Off the wall. Laviolette into second base, standing up on a screaming line drive for the Aggies' second hit of the game.
Well, he can turn a fastball around now, especially when he's sitting on a 3-1. Laviolette's sitting one thing, man. If he guessed wrong, it's a slider, so what? He didn't guess wrong. Got a fastball center cut on the inner half. This has any backspin. It is 1-0. You almost got a 2-pure. Just over the right fielder, Peyton Holt's head. First extra base hit of the day for the Aggies. Laviolette standing on second base with Braden Montgomery strolling to the plate.
Like Laviolette before him, Montgomery 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a healthy cut at 96. Montgomery is a switch hitter. He's been better from the left side over the course of the season, but especially lately. The last 2 weekends against left-handed pitching, he is only 2 for 13. Laviolette, the second Aggie to reach second base tonight. Sailed high with 94. of his 24 home runs have come against righties this year. And he looks at a slider for strike 3. Strikeout number 14 for Hagen Smith. And the low mistake that he made, the Aggies can't cash in on. On a late night in the Lone Star State, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Game number 1 of a 3-game series. Everything starting on Thursday nights in the SEC. We get ready for the SEC tournament next week. Aces on both sides. They have been magnificent. Prager has scattered 5 Arkansas hits. Smith has struck out 14 and now walked the batter. Hugs in the Hog dugout. Looks like his work is done. Prager goes into the 7th. He'll start with Helfrich. Sky high to the right side. Burton handles it, 1 down.
Prager's matched him tonight. I mean, maybe not in the strikeout category, but 8's pretty good for the left-hander. Both have been great from a control standpoint. No walks in the, 1 walk in the game, that's it. The walk to Sprague lot, that's it on both sides.
Hudson White has one of the only 7 hits in the game. He looks at a first pitch strike. Who was the best opposing pitcher that you faced in college? I didn't mean to trick you. I apologize.
No, I got to think. There was a few of them. Randy Flores is really good. Pitcher, he's actually here tonight. Seth Atherton pitched in the big leagues for a long time.
1-1 to White. Breaking ball just off the plate. Did it feel different? Did you get up for it?
Yes, absolutely.
Even though there's nothing you can do to control what the other guy does.
No, but you got to be really good. I mean, I think you have that mindset every time, but it's different when it's ace on ace, when you know that the guy on the other side just didn't get to give many out. Yeah, it was awesome. That guy doesn't give many up.
2-2 to White. Breaking ball, foul. High fly ball into left center. Laviolette back and just onto the warning track. Tough to get it to carry tonight.
Yeah. Tomorrow, that one's probably gone. Saturday, that one's definitely gone. Not tonight. Flags are moving a little bit, but it's not going to benefit you unless you hook it down a left field line, and even then, it's not going to do a whole lot.
.68 degrees after thunderstorms move through. Here's Jason Jones. He's 1 for 2. Arrived yesterday, got in a car at the airport. It was 98. I prefer this.
Forgot my vest tonight. I think I need one down there.
What, are you going to deal blackjack or something? What? Why do we need a vest?
It's a little side gig. It's comfy.
It is perfect hoodie weather. This will be the 98th pitch of the night from Ryan Prager. One and two. Pitch 99.
You would think this is probably it for Prager, too. He gets 7 scoreless. The next pitch will be his 100th of the night. And he has matched one of the best in the country, pitch for pitch.
That guy now has 2 of those inflatables.
Those maracas. At what point do you say, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to inflate 2 maracas and bring them to a baseball game. At some point today, that thought went through that man's mind, and he's executed perfectly.
Swing and a miss. Prager with another strikeout. Kane, number 9. He has been magnificent. Looks like both starters may be done, and they each did their job equally as well. No score. Time to stretch and Christian Fouch takes over on the mound for Arkansas. 6'3", 230-pound flamethrower from Littleton, Colorado. This Arkansas bullpen has been magnificent all year. They're second in program history at 23 saves. Fouch has an ERA sub 1. In 18 1/3, he has struck out 15.
Tommy Hart, is not too often at a college game you see one guy throw 100. You may see 2 tonight. We've already seen 1. Hagen Smith was up to 100 in the first inning. Fouch can do just that. For Smith, 6 innings, 2 hits. Didn't walk anybody, punched out 14. Along the way is now the career strikeout leader at Arkansas. Just shy of 100 pitches will do it for him, but he'll turn it over to the righty that can get up to 100, approach a little bit different. Smith would elevate the fastball more. Fouch is best when he uses that frame and his fastball's at the bottom part of the zone.
So if Hagen Smith didn't throw hard enough,
now you get this guy.
Now you get this guy.
100 from the left side. How about 100 from the right?
Jackson Appel will lead off the 7th. Fouch appeared twice in the Mississippi State Series. Didn't allow a run either time. In fact, he's only allowed a run in an outing twice this season. His first of the year on February 18th, and then again at Alabama a couple days before tax day. Appel is 0 for 2. 98 inside, 1-1. Appel came in hitting .347, 11th best in the SEC. The chanting of the opposing pitcher's first name really only works if you have multiple syllables. Like, can you imagine
Bill,
if I were out there?
Bill,
Yeah.
Bill, Tom, Tom. No, you're right. You got to have a few in there.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball yanked foul. Two to Appel outside.
Well, he had to come up with something to chant because you couldn't do the ball 5 chant tonight. Smith didn't walk anymore.
That's right.
Makes it tough.
Appel from Houston Memorial, same high school that produced former Aggie Boomer White. Former SEC Player of the Year after starting his career at TCU, playing for Jim Schlossnagle. Sky high to right. Peyton Holt. One down. Then here's Ted Burton. He's 0 for 2, couple of Ks. Call that easy cheese?
Yeah, it doesn't look max effort, does it? I mean, it must be nice just to grab a baseball and flip it in there at 98 with sink. This is where Arkansas separates himself from about anybody else in the country. You start the game with Smith, who is as good as there is. Then they just roll weapon after weapon after weapon at you out of the bullpen.
Strike 3.
We got a dial up for 98. They didn't do this to you back to back. 2 straight sliders. This one maybe caught a little bit more of the plate than he wanted to, but froze Ted Burton. First strikeout of the night for Fouch. Now 14 in the game for Arkansas. See how these two rank on the mound head to head. A&M's had a very good year on the mound. They're throwing a lot more strikes than they did last year.
First pitch fastball to Hagen, shot. Oh, for 2, couple of strikeouts, but reached on a wild pitch. To short, Aloy. Hadn't been much for the Arkansas fielders to do. Aggies have struck out 15 times through 7. Nobody's scratched the run column yet. Xander Schauffele picking up right where he left off. Second time in less than a year. Tied the record for the lowest round at a major championship with an opening round 62 and second round coverage of the 106 PGA Championship from Valhalla Golf Club tomorrow afternoon at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN. Early round coverage begins at 7 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Alternate telecasts start at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. John Rahm around the award for the hardest club toss I've seen in a while.
That's one that I wish we had an exit velo on, because that wasn't just flip it back to your caddy. That was the old helicopter right down the fairway. The left-hander on. The senior's been really good out of the bullpen this year for A&M. For Aschenbeck, 51 innings. He's punched out 60. Has walked just 7.
He'll start with Ty Wilmsmeyer in the 9-hole. Wilmsmeyer is 1 for 2. And Wilmsmeyer drops a bunt. This is going to be tough. Aschenbeck too late, and it got away. And Wilmsmeyer reaches on a bunt single. He has elite speed, and he's able to show it off there. That was about as well as you could do it.
Yeah, and I like where he's putting it against a left-hander, too. It's a much tougher play for a left-hander because you're falling off the other side, and you can see Aschenbeck trying to spin, make the throw all at once, even if it's on line. He's not going to get Wilmsmeyer. That's twice that he has done that today, and he is always a threat to steal.
When Wilmsmeyer was at Missouri, they played Kansas at Kauffman Stadium, where they have all the Hawkeye and StatCast and everything in place. On a bunt against Kansas, he got down the line at 30.9 feet per second. That is better than MLB Elite. He's aboard for Peyton Holt.
That's why he's still in his lineup. It's the speed and the defensive ability out in center field. Now, big advantage for Arkansas. Turn the lineup over, and you got Wilmsmeyer standing at first.
One and one. Aschenbeck appeared out of the pen twice in the Ole Miss series. Second time went better than the first. Worked a shutout inning, struck out one. Fly ball to shallow right field. Braden Montgomery coming on. And one down. That'll bring Peyton Stovall up. By the way, we got started an hour and a half late tonight because of heavy thunderstorms that came through the area. There was a legitimate chance that today's game got moved to a doubleheader tomorrow, and that was a real concern for Jim Schlossnagle, specifically because of Evan Aschenbeck. He's appeared in back-to-back games 3 times this season, but he didn't want to do that if he could avoid it. And so using Aschenbeck here, game 1, depending on how deep he goes, he would be available tomorrow, but best case scenario for A&M would use him again in game 3. By the way, one of the great traditions here at Olsen Field is guessing how many engines come by with the train. As it rolls through right field, everybody who had 2 was a winner tonight.
What did you have?
I heard it, but I wasn't
late.
prepared.
You got there late. I had 2. You owe me.
Okay. Into center field. Laviolette drifting now on the run, and he makes a catch up against the fence. Wilmsmeyer retreats to first.
I didn't think he was going to get there. It's a pretty good play out in center field now. It's a bit easier if you're left-handed right there, because that glove side can go just a little bit further, but Laviolette trying to find a wall at the same time. Route was good enough. Speed made up for a little bit of it, but took away what off the bat at least looked like it was going to be extra bases.
Big lead for Wilmsmeyer at first.
It's not quite as unsettling when the train goes by here. The entire stands don't shake like they did at the old box.
I never did a game there.
Oh, you were swaying when the train went by there.
There he goes. Got it picked off, but he still got there. Throw a bit wide from Burton.
You know, it's twice we've seen it today where a base runner is left and the pickoff goes to first base, but the approach right here is exactly what you want. If they're going to pick, if you stop, you're out. But Wilmsmeyer, keep on going, put your head down. In that spot, it was going to take a perfect throw. Was not there. A good heads-up play there by Camarillo to back it up at shortstop, or Wilmsmeyer be standing at third base.
In for a strike. No train in the history of baseball, though, has been as disruptive as the train that rolled through the outfield at Brewster's Millions.
Nope. Not even close. Who's in Brewster's Millions? Was that
Richard Pryor?
Yes. It was Gene. Oh, what's the guy?
You're thinking John Candy.
No.
You're thinking Gene Wilder?
That's
perhaps?
he wasn't in that one. He was in that other one.
To the left side. Grahovac delivers on time. Middle of the 8th. Arkansas nothing. Texas A&M nothing. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Aggies. Well, we have had plenty of drama tonight in this top 5 showdown, game 1 between A&M and Arkansas. Hagen Smith was magnificent. That guy brought his A game. Maracas have been inflated all night. Hagen Smith struck out 14, did walk a bat over 6. Ryan Prager to not allow a run over 7 shutout innings. And it's up to each bullpen now. And Gabe Gackel is the new pitcher for Arkansas.
This is where it gets easy if you're A&M, because now Gackel's only going to throw 99. So it dials down a little bit. The freshman pitching to the back end of the bullpen really all year for Arkansas, but it is once again plus 45 strikeouts in 35 innings this year, just 18 hits allowed for the freshman righty.
And he starts off Camarillo with a breaking ball, 0-1. Gackel hasn't allowed an earned run since April 6th. Another breaking ball. This one hit to right. Holt back. And there's one down. They must have seen the scouting report about Camarillo against the Gage jump fastballs. And here's Caden Sorrell. Sorrell is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a line out. And there's 96.
First fastball for Gackel. 2 off-speed pitches against Camarillo. Off-speed pitch to start against Sorrell, then 96.
It is not a good night to be a hitter. 16th time an Aggie has gone down via the strikeout. You know, it was interesting talking with Jim Schlossnagel about this A&M approach, and not that strikeouts are embraced, but in their plan of attack, it's okay. In the sense that he wants them to see a strike, he wants them to work counts, and he, at the same time, wants them to take aggressive swings, especially his guys like Razorbacks, Laviolette, and Montgomery.
That's how they score the runs. They score the runs with a home run, and a lot of them. Just haven't run into one tonight. Laviolette just missed one.
Travis Chestnut has a bunch single to his name tonight. Tried for a second, got him in the batter's box, and insisted upon by Eddie Newsom that he was in the box and not out. Otherwise, he would be out. You've got to be all the way out of the batter's box to be out of it. Here's Gackel's 0-2. Breaking ball, one hopper got under the glove of Stovall. And Chestnut reaches for the second time tonight.
I think it's probably going to go as a hit, and this doesn't happen very often to Peyton Stovall. That's a mental error. He's got enough time right there to sit back and instead charged it. Then he had to guess on the hop. I mean, it wasn't barreled up, but it was hit hard enough that he can wait back, judge that high hop, and probably have plenty of time instead. The Aggies have one on, and now they turn it over, and now's when they can hurt you.
Breaking ball misses low to Gavin Graholvac, 1-0. We're told they ruled that one a hit. Stovall still doesn't have a blemish on his fielding record this season. Hudson White tried to bring that one back, 2-0. Arkansas relievers against Mississippi State allowed just 4 runs in 19 1/3. Well, the starting pitching faltered last week for the Hogs. The bullpen was fantastic. Swing and a miss, one in the dirt. First base was occupied. Oh, pardon me, that's strike one. And a stolen base for Travis Chestnut. Two-one pitch, runner on the move. Ground ball up the middle. Aloy over to get it, and just in time.
There's a game changer. Base runner moving right here is going to score easily. Watch Vahiva Aloy. Transfer from Sac State, goes up the middle, gloves it, and shows off why that arm is plenty to stay at shortstop. Keeps it a scoreless game through 8.
Aggie football coach Mike Elko in the building tonight. Well, he is a defensive-minded coach, so that helps explain why we haven't had any points tonight.
Got his kind of game.
Vahiva Aloy starts off the inning with what could have been a game-saving play. The bottom of the 8th. We're in the 9th. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, 0-2. Senior from Brenham, Texas, out of Brenham High School. Had a stopover at Blinn Junior College before making it to A&M. Into center, Laviolette. Malloy retired to bring up McLaughlin. Elsewhere, they've gone to the 9th in Tucson, and number 6 Oregon State leading Arizona 9-2. Pac-12 title on the line this weekend between those two, and maybe an opportunity to host for Arizona should they finish strong. Ground ball through the right side, and a knock for McLaughlin, his first hit of the game.
That's a battle for the pack, and maybe a battle to see who hosts too.
By the way, Clay Goodwin is coaching over first base for Arkansas tonight. Bobby Wernis back in Fayetteville for the birth of his second child, so congratulations to the Wernis family. Tim Schlossnagle going to come out for Aschenbach.
I think for Chestnut at second.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Laid out for that one. I don't know if he knocked the wind out of himself or if it was something else. If my lip reading abilities are any good, he said I'm seeing stars.
Hagen Smith is in the dugout.
Should get easier. His head kind of went down and caught a little turf, lost his lid in the meantime.
Yeah, right on the
chin went in. Good day to have soft turf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he could have been referring to the two starting pitchers.
It would fit tonight.
Well, a single for McLaughlin. Here's Ryder Helfrich. By the way, Oklahoma beat Cincinnati tonight. The Sooners wrapped up the Big 12 title in their last year in the league. It'll be their only Big 12 title. They won the Big 8, their last conference championship in 1995 when they had the Minor brothers, Russ Ortiz, and Florida softball coach Tim Walton.
Yeah. Year after they won the whole thing.
1-0 pitch. Foul territory. A little bit of room for Burton, and he's got plenty of space. 2 down. And with 2 down, it brings Hudson White to the plate. Projected Big 12 teams and national seeds for both Bedlam partners, OU and Oklahoma State.
It's Cincinnati and UCF. Both of them a chance to get in there, have to go on the road, but 8 out of the Big 12 would be a big number to get into the postseason.
Well hit left field, but the ball's not carrying. Sorrell will have plenty of space. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Laviolette, Montgomery, and Appel due up for A&M. If they score, we go home. They are sawing varsity's horns tonight in Aggieland. Arkansas is out to hit A&M 7-3, but we go to the bottom of the 9th, and the meat of the A&M order is up, starting with Jace Laviolette. Gabe Gackel on the mound for Arkansas. And he delivers a first pitch fastball to Laviolette, who's tied for 3rd in the country with 27 home runs. One-on-one. Laviolette picked up the nickname Lord Tubbington. It started as a Teletubby nickname, but Lord Tubbington is a cat that was in show Glee. Swing and a miss, no Glee for Lord Tubbington here. Laviolette goes down on strikes. What do you got, 17 strike out of the night for A&M?
That would be 17.
The guy who showed up in a Teletubby outfit was going to have a lot to cheer about, but nothing.
He's warm at least. He's well insulated tonight.
Hello, Tinky Winky. That is the Teletubby that is above Laviolette's locker. He picked up the nickname in the plush from Hayden's shot. The one on the left is the one that's by the locker, not that guy. That would be weird. Every time you walked in the locker room, that dude was just,
sir,
standing by the locker.
You need to move.
Into the shift. And Montgomery is retired. 2 down. And here's Jackson Appel. Appel is 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out, a fly out, and a pop up. Here comes a train. I got 3.
2.
Appel is the only Aggie who hasn't struck out yet tonight. And he looks at a breaking ball for his strike. Pulled foul. On their feet at Bluebell Park. Trying to avoid extras. And they can't do that. We will play on into the night. Both teams have one extra inning win of the season. We head to the 10th with zeros for both sides. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Final weekend of regular season play will be in Hoover starting Tuesday. Meanwhile, huge series in Athens, Georgia this weekend. Charlie Condon had 1 hit. He did not homer. Petey Cavilla holds the record for home runs in a season with 48. Condon has 6 more than any other player. Caglione and Roman Kuntz from Morehead State each have 28. And he leads Division I in batting average. So Condon's sitting with 34 on the season, right behind Mike Wiles of BYU at 35 and 88. Only 2 players, as Jason Jones leads off, have led Division I in home runs and batting average in the same season. And Condon in line with a strong finish to keep that pace up. Indiana's Mike Smith won the Triple Crown in '92. And Bryce Bentz of Middle Tennessee led Division I in average and shared the home run crowd in 2009. So Condon has a chance to do something that's really only been done once before.
He didn't get an at bat his freshman year.
2-2. I'm trying to think of a comp.
2.
Like, to be a guy. I mean, another sport where, I mean, listen, it's different if you're Johnny Manziel and you come in and you redshirt a year, right? In football, especially playing quarterback, that's what happens. But to redshirt and then turn into a top 5 pick, to have that incredible growth and not just be a good player, but be elite. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy for Condon. I mean, wasn't really recruited by high-level Division I programs. Goes to Georgia, red shirts. Last year had a really good year out of nowhere, but this year he's the best hitter in the country, and he's in that short discussion to potentially go first overall. Things can change quickly in this game.
To the right side and bobbled by Burton. Too late. Wilmsmeyer reaches for the 3rd time in this game. That will be an error on Ted Burton over at first base.
Oh, Burton just picks his head up a little bit. He's got plenty of time. Aschenbeck had a decent break. You're still going to have to, it's got to be a quick transition if you're going to get Wilmsmeyer. Looked like it may hit his bare hand first, but crawled up the glove, not enough time to get there. And now the fastest Razorback standing at first base again.
Peyton Holt is hitless in the leadoff spot, 0 for 4. Arkansas has not lost a Hagen Smith start all season. Nothing in 2.
Arkansas took a chance with Wilmsmeyer on first base last time. And Aschenbeck had him picked off. Picked to first. Aaron throw to second. Wilmsmeyer ended up stealing second base. We'll see if he stays put or takes a chance in this at bat or the next.
Not moving here, and it's chopped over Burton's head. Wilmsmeyer scoots his way to third, and the Razorbacks have runners at the corners with 1 down in the 10th.
A good approach and maybe some good hitting luck right here. Peyton Holt a little bit late to it. He's trying to take that the other way, but top spin, and he just hit it in the right spot out in front of home plate, and there is nothing when you're holding that runner on that you can do about that. Burton, even with the bag coming off of it, one hopper over his head. Wilmsmeyer's easily into third base. Is that our first? No, it's our second runner at third base tonight.
Stovall reached third in the 6th. That was prior to Aloy hitting into a double play. Razorback fans have made the trip, huh?
They always make the trip.
There are next WNBA games Saturday on ABC. Clayton Clark and the Fever in New York to take on Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and the Liberty at 1 Eastern. Then Asia Wilson and the Aces host Cameron Brink and Rick A. Jackson, and the Sparks coverage tips with WNBA Countdown, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Infield will come in with 1 out in the 10th. Camarillo and Chestnut are playing on the dirt. They will inch closer with the pitch, and a breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. A&M defense, it's turned only 27 double plays this season. Only 2 teams in the SEC have turned fewer. 0-2. Stovall has one of the 8 Arkansas hits tonight. Wilmsmeyer gets his lead off third. One and 2 to Peyton Stovall. Stovall just 1 hit in the Mississippi State Series last weekend, 1 for 13. Swing and a miss, and 1 in the dirt. 2 down.
Stovall just never had a really good read at all on Aschenbeck. This one down and out of the zone. Held up on a similar pitch the time before, but went after what was a ball. Aschenbeck at a time he really needed a strikeout. You got a guy standing on third base, less than 2 outs. Gets it right there. Now he'll face Sprague Lott with 2 outs.
We have had 29 combined strikeouts tonight. 11 from the Aggie staff. Jared Sprague Lott has K'd twice. He's 0 for 4. Pardon me, 0 for 3 with a walk. Lost the bat. How about the bat and the ball ended up nearly the same place? There goes the bat, there goes the ball. A couple of weeks ago, Sprague Lott was fighting an oblique injury. In the South Carolina series, he was only able to appear as a defensive replacement. Second team Atlantic 10 performer for Richmond last year. 1-1. One-two to Sprague Lott. Swing and a miss for strike 3. To the bottom of the 10th we go. It'll be Burton, Schott, Camarillo. Aschenbeck has done his job again. Home after the 10th inning, Arkansas and A&M is top 5 showdown have yet to score. .29 combined strikeouts, only 1 walk.
It's been a clinic on both sides of it. 18 strikeouts tonight for A&M's offense. That ties the season high. Did it against Georgia back in April. He just 1 1/10 to walk him off.
Gabe Gackel on the mound. Ted Burton fouls the first one off. Breaking ball in for a strike. High fly ball into shallow left center. Ty Wilmsmeyer handles it. And that brings Hagen Schott to the plate. Gabe Gackel is the reigning SEC Freshman of the Week. He's going into his 3rd inning of work on the mound for Arkansas. Gackel got his 7th save with a 2-inning outing Sunday against Mississippi State. 3 strikeouts, only 2 hits. Ended the game with a strikeout after State brought the tying run to the plate in the 9th. It was also great Friday against Mississippi State. Came in with 2 men on, stranded both in the 7th. Changeup swung through, 1-1.
I've seen that a whole lot this year from Gackel. That's a changeup. He's now thrown it a few times tonight. It's that breaking ball that you usually talk about most. The off-speed stuff, he's usually changed well against lefties.
And he goes back to the breaking ball. Gackel followed 1 inning of Christian Fouch in 6 innings with 14 strikeouts from Hagen Smith.
Didn't Hagen Schott have a mustache last time we saw him?
He did, yes.
No more.
He was very disappointed that His lip sweater wasn't matching up to some of his teammates and even guys on the other team like Hayden Travinsky from LSU. To your point about Gackel's changeup, he throws it less than 10% of his pitches, 56% fastball, 27% slider. Sometimes a breaking ball classified as a curveball. And the fastball's dribbled over the back of the mound and over the bag at second. Aloy handles 2 down. Why don't you do that with your hair?
I don't have enough of it.
Oh. Aloy is the team barber. Well, they've grown. They've multiplied. That is fraught with danger. Ali Camarillo looks at a slider for a strike, 0-1.
I thought it was interesting talking to Schloss about Camarillo's swing. Just how he hadn't seen the velocity that he'll see when he gets into the SEC on the West Coast before he came in. And so they did make some changes. Cut down on the leg kick, moved his hand placement a little bit, was something that I think he really wanted to do at the beginning. But ultimately those changes have made a big difference. We saw him take gauge jump deep twice on fastballs that were on the inner half of the plate. Exit velos have come up. The bat has started to play a lot more.
300 hitter this year. And the dirt caught the home plate umpire, Eddie Newsom. That may have gotten dirt, bat, ump. Dirt, no bat, just on him.
Yeah. 58 footer with that curveball, the way that's spinning, it bounces straight up in the air. That one's smart.
I would, if I were an umpire, I'd wear so much padding I wouldn't be able to walk. I'd be like that kid in the Christmas Story, all zipped up in a snowsuit. I'd find a way to protect the neck, that's for sure.
I'd bring the pillow back.
Yes. Into left center field, long run Jones. He won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. Camarillo on his way to second. It's a 2-out double. And the Aggies trying to get something cooking late.
Well, there's that newfound juice that we're talking about with Camarillo. 10th inning, one will win it. Fastball down and in, and that is a short approach to it right there too. Just drop the head of the bat on it, back foot scissor kicks out of the way to give him just a little bit more leverage. This was pure. That stayed right on line out towards left center field. Van Horn on his way out, and it looks like Arkansas is going to the bullpen. Lefty trotting in.
So Gackel will give way to the bullpen. The third reliever of the game coming in from Arkansas. We'll tell you about the new man in a moment. Here's senior Stone Hewlett, 6'1" lefty out of Leawood, Kansas. He is the third reliever in the game for Arkansas. 1-0 with a 1.50. 21 strikeouts in only 12 innings pitched for Hewlett.
He's a guy that's usually going to come in and get left-handers out. He's only given up 4 hits That's the entire year in 12 innings for Hewlett. Left on left is the key. A bunch of sliders, not easy for lefties to hold off. Final line for Gackel, 2 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, struck out 3, didn't walk anybody, but responsible for Ali Camarillo standing on second base.
Arkansas pitchers have struck out 18 and walked none. Caden Sorrell 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Well, dribbler back to the mound off of his foot or his leg, and they say the ball was in play, or did he just fall? He may. Well, we'll figure it out while we're at break, but that's a ground out, and that sends us to the 11th. No runs on 8 hits and no errors for Arkansas tonight. No runs, 4 hits and 1 error for Texas A&M. The West is on the line. Arkansas with a 2-game lead in this 3-game series, and well, Kentucky may not be caught in the Wildcats with a 1-game lead on Tennessee and game and a half on Arkansas for the overall SEC title. First pitch, line drive right to Camarillo.
Well, we know the 12 for Hoover now. Missouri will not be there. Auburn will not be there. I've got to wait a few days to see who gets the bye, which A&M still fighting for that. Them and Georgia fighting for the 4th and final bye.
In for a strike to Ben McLaughlin. This is the final year of standings in the SEC. As it goes, each division winner, the final year of divisions, we'll still have standings. That would be weird if we didn't. You keep score. Fly ball in the left center field. Long run, Laviolette. And he can't quite get there. Goes up against the fence to double with 1 out for Ben McLaughlin. And Laviolette still on the ground.
There's a lot in that dugout looking at left center field. Make sure that Laviolette gets up. This is a tough play because it's cutting away from him the entire time. Laviolette made a great play out there a few innings ago off the bat. Looks like maybe he had a chance, but that ball just keeps cutting and cutting, getting further away from the center fielder. He can't get there. Sorrell picks it up. It's a 1-out double right there for McLaughlin. He will leave for a pinch runner.
Will Edmondson will take his place on the bases. And here's Ryder Helfrich. Helfrich sends a line shot down to the left side of foul. "18 inches from giving Arkansas the lead."
Just a little too far out in front of that changeup, which you know you're probably going to get from Aschenbeck. That's his best. Time Helfrich, if it's a tick, just a tick later on the swing, this is 1-0 Arkansas. Instead, just foul.
Helfrich is only 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position this season. Nothing at 2.
Got so much confidence in that pitch. I mean, just about gave up a double down the line on it. Goes right back to it, threw it in a perfect spot.
Struck him out.
About 3 in a row. Foul ball for the first, and Aschenbeck just keeps working the changeup. Arm speed's the same, grip is different. You can see that hand pronate go right over the top, helps give it that good sink when it gets to home plate. Ryder Helfrich a foot away from giving Arkansas the lead. 2 pitches later, goes down swinging.
Here's Hudson White. White has been much better against righties this season than he has lefties. Reverse split is 194 average against left-handers. .306 against righties. Fly ball well hit left field. Sorrell drifting back to the fence. It is caught. Caden Sorrell up against the wall. Robs Hudson White. And A&M with an opportunity for a walk-off winner. A game saver by Sorrell. Middle of the 11th, Arkansas nothing. A&M coming up. Razorbacks back to the bullpen. Stone Hewlett faced one batter, retired him, so Georgetown, Kentucky native Jake Faraday enters. Bottom of the 11th. Travis Chestnut is due up for A&M. 13th appearance for Faraday, an ERA sub 1. 17 strikeouts in 9 1/3.
This just goes back to the depth of this Arkansas bullpen. They've got about it a little bit different way than A&M. Ashabek has been the only reliever so far. He's been outstanding. This now the 4th arm that's come out of the Arkansas bullpen, but zeros across for everybody.
Faraday threw a shutout inning against Mississippi State 5 days ago. It feels like, to this point, a must-win game for A&M in the sense that Aschenbeck is likely burned for the weekend.
Yeah, he's definitely down tomorrow, for sure. Yeah, and I think there's a decent, maybe.
He's at like 50 pitches.
He's getting close, yeah. Maybe you can get him back for 3 outs at the most on Saturday.
Chestnut has 2 of the Aggies' 4 hits tonight. Dropped a perfect push bunt against Hagen Smith his first time up. 2-0. Gonna need a bigger head. Two and one. Got a bunt his way on that time. Be perfect for a cone head. They could fit all of those hats on it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That very thing. I'm glad you said it.
Here's Faraday's 2-2. Just low. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and Chestnut retired.
Everybody in this A&M lineup has struck out at least once tonight, and they have not had the leadoff man on this entire game, and we're in the 11th inning. That time, Chestnut worked it to a 3-2 count. Faraday got him with a good slider.
His season high in strikeouts for A&M, 19 of them. Here's Gavin Grahovac. He is K'd twice. Time granted. And to adjust his elbow pad. Grahovac from Orange, California, out of Villa Park High School. His dad Mike played college baseball at Chapman, Southern California. He was a 4th-round pick of the Giants in 1989. And his sister Peyton was a college volleyball player, both Arizona State and Long Beach. '22 LA Times Player of the Year in California, 2-1. Again, just off the plate with 96 that time, 3-1.
It's a big California contingent, this A&M lineup. Grahovac, Schott, Burton, Camarillo.
Full count. That pipeline is opened up. Jim Schlossnagle and his staff putting a lot of effort on the West Coast. 1-out walk sets the stage for one of the best hitters in college baseball, Jace Laviolette.
It gets overlooked a little bit for A&M. We talk about offense and how good it is from a power standpoint. 2nd in the country in walks this year. They get on base in many different ways.
And as good as they've been against this Arkansas staff, that was the first walk of the night picked up by the Aggies. Laviolette fouls one back. He was the freshman All-America last year, set the Texas A&M freshman home run record with 21 of them. He's hit 27 this year and has him top 10 in the nation. First in A&M history to have a 2020 season. And he was swinging for home run number 28. He'll be high in the draft boards for next year. Sophomore out of Katy Tompkins High School.
Grahovac doesn't run much, just 1 stolen base this year, 2 attempts. Even if you do have speed with Laviolette and Montgomery coming up, I don't think he's going anywhere. I was wrong. Often running on the 1-2 there, and maybe you're thinking there's a chance there's a ball in the dirt, so even if Laviolette strikes out, still not going to be easy for White to throw him out.
Jack Wagner holding him on. Remember they pinch ran from McLaughlin last half inning. Hello. One on in a scoreless game in the 11th. Two incredible power seasons for Laviolette. Well, that was close.
That's a pretty quick move. Feet are quick right there by Faraday. We'll switch up this weekend. We won't see Brady Taggart as a starter for Arkansas. They're going to hold him out this weekend. Try to make sure he's fresh for the postseason run as Laviolette takes one down to even the count.
Dave Van Horn making a couple of shuffles to his rotation this weekend. Running on the move, ground ball through the hole on the right side. Grahovac to third. He'll be stopped there, and the Aggies have runners at the corners, one down.
Well, they picked the right time to go right there, and he got the right guy at the plate. Don't have that extended shift against Laviolette, so rollover ground ball. It's hit pretty hard, but base runner in motion. Grahovac was running on the pitch. He's easily going first to third. May have anyway on that one because Holt's playing so deep out in right field, but the minute he is moving, he absolutely is. I would think you walk Montgomery here to load him up, create a force all over the place.
It looks like they're going back to the bullpen again. And that'll do it for Faraday. Arkansas back to the bullpen. This time it's Parker Coyle and his cutter. So here's sophomore left-hander Parker Coyle. Just picked up a cutter about a week ago, and he rode that to a great outing last weekend against Mississippi State. 14th appearance. His ERA is pretty high, but he's pitched better than that. 21 strikeouts and 16 and a third, especially lately.
Well, it's interesting here too. So Dave Van Horn goes to the bullpen. He got back-to-back switch hitters coming up. I thought that you would put Montgomery on just to create a force at any base, but we'll see how they play the middle. The middle you would think is going to at a minimum play even with the bag. So it really takes a double play out order up the middle. And infield will now come all the way in.
Montgomery is hitting 70 points less against lefties than he is righties. Only 5 of his 24 home runs have come against lefties. Infield in. Grahovac is the runner at third. Coyle delivers. And a first pitch strike. Montgomery is 0 for 4. Runner goes from first to second. They'll give him that base. Does take away the double play, but they weren't playing for it anyway. Coyle 3 1/3 shutout against Mississippi State last weekend in an 8-5 win. His ERA has decreased just about every appearance this season after he gave up 4 in less than an inning against JMU to open the season. Swing and a miss. Ball went skirting away from White after the tag on Montgomery, but 2 down.
That's a tough night for Montgomery right now. That's strikeout number 4, and this one a giant spot. Fly ball deep enough to the outfield, you're going to win it. Something hit on the ground, at least you got a chance. But there's that cutter down and in, swings right over the top of it.
And here's a pal who has absolutely crushed left-handed pitching all season. .435 average against lefties. Coming into tonight's game, he did not have a hit against Hagen Smith, went 0 for 2. And 0 for 4 overall. Grahovac at third, Lavalette at second. 2-0. And Hudson White is going to go visit. After the switch hitting at Pell, it's Ted Burton. And once again, that bullpen is percolating. Will McIntyre. Bullpen really hadn't stopped moving since Hagen Smith left the game after 6 innings of 14 strikeout baseball. Hogs have struck out 20 and they've walked 1. And now they'll put them on the count 2-0. Bases loaded with 2 down. McIntyre's warm and ready to go. And Van Horn going to visit before he makes a motion to the bullpen with Burton due up.
I would think if you're going to heat McIntyre up in this spot, he's probably coming in the game.
I thought so too. And a check of Burton's numbers. He's hit .328 against righties and only .194 against lefties. And now Van Horn, when pressed, says yes, we're going to the bullpen. So far, the bullpen has been nearly as good as the starter Hagen Smith was. They haven't allowed a run, and McIntyre will be the next chess piece put in play. Here's senior Will McIntyre at Bryan High School in Arkansas. Been around the program as a while. Has appeared as both a starter and a reliever. This will be his 26th appearance. He's 5-0 with a 3.67 ERA. Hasn't allowed a run over his last 2 outings against Mississippi State. 60 strikeouts and 49 innings pitched.
He's kind of a Swiss Army knife guy too. For McIntyre, there's a fair amount of swing and miss. Fastball is going to be into the low 90s. When it's right, it has pretty good sink. There is a high trust factor on this Arkansas coaching staff with McIntyre coming in at any spot, but there is no room for error right now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Ted Burton due up.
Grahovac is a runner at third. He was walked with 1 out. Then Laviolette followed with a single and an intentional walk to Appel when he was ahead in the count 2-0. This is my favorite Arkansas baseball podcast, Bases Loaded with Phil and Bubba. McIntyre talked about raising his arm slot with those guys. He's 6'4". He's like, now my slot is more coming out of about a 6'6" slot, and I'm getting a lot more bite. Bases loaded in a scoreless game in the 11th for Ted Burton. Burton looks at a first pitch breaking ball for a strike.
McIntyre comfortable throwing that pitch at any time.
Oh, 1 low. Burton 4 seasons at Michigan out of Edison High School in Huntington Beach, California. A chance to deliver a winner in his top 5 matchup. And we go to the 12th. The 1-1. That's low. 2-1 to Burton. Low again, 3-1. No place to put him. Gets a hit here, everybody can head to the chicken. Missed. Ball 4, and the Aggies walk him off. A bases loaded walk. And Texas A&M hands Arkansas its first loss in a Hagen Smith start. They do it by pitching their 10th shutout of the season. Most since the bicentennial, and the Aggies have a leg up in this series.
Used to seeing the bubbles here at Bluebell, but usually not in the 11th on a walk-off walk. But exactly what it was for A&M. You strike out 20 times and win a game with Hagen Smith on the other side. That is a giant win, and for the Aggies, gets them closer to guaranteeing a bye when they head to Hoover. And even closer to locking up one of those top 8 national seeds. That's a really good at-bat from Burton, because he took a slider first pitch of the at-bat for a strike, then took a few sliders down and out of the zone. That last one was a game winner.
It's the first 1-0 win for A&M since 2019, and their last 1-0 win in a home game since 2016 when they beat Vandy 1-0. 2 days before Kyle Simons threw a no-hitter. J.B. Moss is in the home radio booth tonight, scored the winning run in that 2016 game. What a thriller. If you like good pitching, this was the place to be. Thanks for being with us. If you stuck around the whole time, you can go to bed now.
Yeah, you can still head to the chicken, too.
Yeah.
They're not going to kick you out quite yet.
Everything's in play. We'll be back tomorrow for Game 2 over on the SEC Network. For Kyle Peterson, our fantastic crew tonight, I'm Tom Hart. Aggies will go for a series win tomorrow. Have a great Thursday night, everybody.